Hello, I want to do my kind of no makeup that I would do on a daily basis if I have to look put together. Like, I don't normally do that every day because I don't bother putting makeup, and also it's not good for the skin. So, but if I have to go out, for example, I know that there are gonna be pictures taken, or it's just like a special occasion and my skin doesn't look great, and I want to just look more perfected, I would do that. It's the same thing that I do also when I have to do performances, because normally, unless it's like a specific performance that you have to have a specific makeup, you me as a male, like going on stage as a man, whatever it means, but I want to you want to look like you're not wearing makeup, but obviously you want to correct things here and there. So this is like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this with the what's the base that I always do, and from that base I build up based on whatever I have to do, because obviously from this base of like no makeup like things, undetectable makeup, you can also go a little bit further if you want to like go, like when I go to the club, obviously I don't care anymore if it's visible that I'm wearing makeup. At that, when I usually, when I go to the club, I add some obvious makeup, like I add eyeshadows and glitter and stuff like that. But yeah, if it's always like the same base. I start with the skin, and then from that I build up. Let's brush the eyebrows, because it freaks me out when they are all over the place. So that's something that I would do always, every day, which is not even makeup, but it's just a trick to make me look good and put together. Let me zoom in. Ooh, oh my god, I look horrible. I have this thing that I don't even know if it's a pimple or what, but now it's good. Like, you have to imagine 1 week ago it was just like, oh, I have all this it's still a little bit there. I had all this swelling here that was like doing this kind of prosthetic nose effect. Anyway, I use for the skin, for the base, I use the Blemish Balm by Schrammeck. It's a German pharmacy brand, and I put the tiniest amount, and this tiniest amount has to cover all the blemishes. I don't want to put too much on the skin, because again, this is a Real Technique brush. I still use Real Techniques, because they're good brushes and they're very affordable, so I don't care. I don't go fancy. I go just where I need it, all right? So now I'm not using any mirror, so it's a little bit difficult for me, because I don't have any. I don't have them, or maybe I have. Wait a second. I knew that I had one. Okay, so I hope you can see. This is difficult. It's like the first time that I record myself doing makeup. It's not easy. And I go with just like this dabbing motions, like I don't slide, but you see, like I just dab it. Okay. And I have this kind of like spots and discoloration around my chin area. Sometimes I do on my cheeks, because those are spots from pimples that I had previously, and obviously they leave the spots. Because even if I use sun protect, oh, by the way, I've done my skincare, which is like washing my face with Effaclar by La Roche-Posay, now I'm putting this hyaluronic acid by Neutrogena. Then I go with my moisturizer that I always use is Toleriane by La Roche-Posay, and then I go on top with SPF by La Roche-Posay as well, the invisible cast, whatever. So I have my SPF on, which, yeah, I was saying before, it's very important to use SPF because, like, even if I used it, I've been under the sun working in Paris, and I was wearing SPF, I was wearing hats and sunglasses, but still I got tan, because you sweat dancing, like you sweat, and the SPF kind of like goes away a little bit, and you have to be really careful with the sun, because if you have spots, it's gonna like stay there forever. When the sun hits you where those spots are, it's gonna leave a mark that will last kind of forever, really. It takes a lot of time and a lot of exfoliation to just like make the spot kind of disappear, kind of fade, because I think it never disappear completely underneath your skin. Like, it goes very, very deep in the skin, and then you have to renew the skin many times until the last layer that got hit with this mark goes away as well. I don't know if it makes sense. I can't explain it better than that, but yeah, it's like the skin have layers like an onion, okay? So you have this mark on the skin, and it goes down, it goes deep. It kind of like hits all the layers, okay? So you renew the skin, and you take off one layer, and then the other, and then the other, until there is a layer underneath that didn't got hit by the spot, So it's a very terrible explanation, I'm sorry, but so you see, I already, like, I just like went to cover kind of like all the spots that were bothering me, but to make it look real, like I'm not wearing anything. First of all, I have to blend it very well, and second of all, you don't have to get rid of all the marks and things you have on your face, because otherwise then it kind of takes off the, like, normal skin, like if you don't have you don't have one color for the whole face. So if you just like go and you put one color on your face, it automatically looks unnatural, and it's just like obvious that you have makeup on, that you're wearing foundation or something, and we don't want that. So I'm kind of leaving some marks there, like the ones that don't bother me, I just leave there. I just cover the ones that are not too flattering. Like, I have this on my nose, I'm gonna leave it there because it kind of like makes the whole thing look realistic, like I didn't do anything to my face. But I would go here because I have some redness that I think it's not very flattering. you know, I have like some veins showing, and you know, I also have like a shadow here. I want to, because I have prominent nostrils, I want to kind of like get rid a little bit of this shadow by putting a little bit of lightness here, so it kind of reflects the light a little bit. And I will go around a little bit this mark, because I don't want too much redness, but I'm gonna leave this because look, this is very, very dark. It's a very red mark. If I'm gonna go with product on, with this product on top, which is kind of sheer products, it's gonna make it look, I don't know, it's gonna show on it, because it's not gonna cover the mark because it's super pigmented, and then you're gonna see that there's something on top of it, you know. So we don't want that. We're not gonna bother to cover that, because like if I had to cover it for like a photo shooting, I would go with a very thick and pigment and high coverage concealer, because you know that is gonna do the job, it's gonna cover it. But like but for real life, if I go outside with natural light, if I go with a thick concealer on top of it, it's gonna show. Like you're gonna see the texture of the high coverage concealer, and it's just a giveaway. So if we want to give this illusion that we are not wearing anything, I think that it's better to avoid a super coverage product. That's why I'm going with this, which is pretty sheer, but it's enough to give me a little bit of like a uniform complexion. Still, I have like stuff here, and I'm gonna go back a little bit to I'm gonna go back a little bit, and I'm gonna I'm gonna insist just on the very spot, not all around. I'm gonna go with like a thin second layer to just, you know, highlight this area even more. And mind that now I have the light coming out from side, so you see the texture, and the texture is something that you can't get rid of, you know, because you can cover redness, you can cover pigment, but you can't cover the texture. So light, it's very important. If you want to do pictures and you have texture on your skin, try to avoid lights that come from the side or from up or from down, and just put a light that like goes right in front of your face, because that is gonna make thing look kind of flat, and it's gonna camouflage the texture that you have on your skin. So yeah, I mean, lighting is everything when it comes to pictures and videos and stuff. Lights with makeup, but you know, in real life there's not much that we can do about that, because when you talk with a person, you just move, you know, you move around, light changes, and but still what we can do is just like the best that we can, but really be like proceeding with the thin layers that you can always add afterwards, you know, but you go with thin layers. And of course the color has to match, because otherwise it's not gonna look good. It's gonna look like stains on your face. So what I'm doing is not going all over my face with a foundation or a product or a concealer. I'm just go on specific areas that I want to kind of like camouflage. And I'm gonna leave the rest of the skin makeup free, because you know, to have bits in your face that are not covered in makeup is gonna trick the eye, because you're gonna, like, for example, leaving this part of the skin free, you know, like eyes and below the eyes and the forehead, and you know, this part, I think that it's the part that is the area that people focus on when they meet you, when they see you. They just like see you in the eyes, and to not have like concealer under your eyes and stuff like that, it's gonna trick the, you know, it's gonna trick the viewer, and you're gonna you tend to think that I'm not wearing makeup. You're not gonna look at my chin immediately, you know, like if the chin area is well done, like in terms like the foundation is matching and the texture is not so thick, you're not gonna look at it. It's not gonna draw attention, you know what I mean? So now that comes the trick part, because I have this sheet on my eye, and especially for, you know, like connecting to what I was talking about, it's very important to not make it look like makeup, because it's close to the eyes, you know, and yeah, there's not much we can do about it because it's very inflamed. So what I can do, I'm gonna try to just put a thin layer, and even if we're not gonna cover it completely, but at least I'm gonna hope, we just hope that this product is gonna take a little bit of redness down in a way to not in a way that, I don't know, like it's not gonna be the first thing that the viewer notice when they see me, you know. I'm just gonna take the redness down a little bit. I'm not gonna bother to cover it completely, because really there's not much you can do about something that it's so inflamed and alive, you know. I literally have like a mountain on my face. So this shit needs to be treated, and so that's, I think, the best we could do with it, because even this, like this product is not gonna cover it. But yeah, we just can take the redness down a little bit. That's what we can do. So I'm blending the edges because I don't want like a spot here, otherwise it's gonna be like even more visible, because, you know, if I create a spot of bright color. So what I want to do is like I go around the edges, and I'm gonna leave more pigment on the pimple, but around, at least I'm gonna just like blend it and take off the edges. Alright, good. Then with what's left on the brush, I'm just gonna go a little bit here, but again, as I said before, be careful, because we don't want to show makeup, especially in the eye area. It's so important that we make the eyes look as natural as possible if we are going for this no makeup, undetectable secret makeup. I mean, I didn't do it barely. There is no products there. Like there's nothing there. It's just like a little tiny bit, you know. And I'm doing the same on the other side. Just because I am particularly dark here, obviously it changes. That's the anatomy of my face, you know. I have very deep set eyes, you know, so I have darkness there. But again, like I have very dark circles, like I have pigmentation around my eyes, and that's something that on a daily basis I don't bother to go and cover, because if I do, it's gonna be obvious that I have concealer under my eyes. So what I do is, because it doesn't bother me that much, like I'm not mad about my dark circles. Like I think it can look like, if you take care of the rest, like if you have dark circle and then you have spots on your face and you have redness and you have imperfections in your face, then the dark circles are gonna add on like the messiness, and you don't look put together, you look like tired and stuff. But if you get rid of the spots and you just make like a nice complexions, in general, you can afford to have something that it's a little bit off and broken, you know. And in my case, it's gonna be the dark circles. Like I'm gonna leave it there because I'm not mad about it, and I just like took care of the rest of the skin. So it's like, you know, I'm gonna be like very nonchalant about it. I have dark circles and that's it, you know. I'm not trying to get rid of that. It's like who I am, you know. So this is like an important, I think, technique in makeup. Like if you have something that it's very difficult to get rid of with makeup, we shouldn't get rid of it necessarily, but what we can do, we can balance it. Like we can balance that by adjusting something else, so things are in balance, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just like, it's a matter of finding the balance, because once you kind of like concealed something, maybe you can afford to have that quote-unquote imperfection on your face, and it's not gonna detract from your beauty, but it's gonna give you personality, you know. It's the same thing like when you are doing a very smudged dark makeup, like very black eyes, like Avril Lavigne, or, you know, like grungy makeup. Then if you have also like gray skin and you have dark circles, and you look, your complexion is looking bad, you know, then it's gonna make you look like you're dying, you know. And if that's the look that you're going for, that's totally fine, power to you, you know, if you want to go for a gothic kind of look. But if you just do a nice base, and so everything is perfected, and then you're gonna have like this broken smudged makeup, it's gonna balance the situation out, and you can afford with going very extreme on the eyes. It's because you're not gonna look ugly, you're gonna look good, but cool, you know, like yeah, it's gonna, overall it's gonna make a good effect. Like you see the intention of like broken messy makeup, but you still look pretty. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of balancing things out, and that's pretty much it with the base. Like, I'm not gonna cover everything because then, as I said before, it's gonna look artificial. And I'm sorry, I didn't shave. If I shaved, it was going to look better, but you know, I shaved yesterday. I can't shave every day. What I do is taking this blush, it's a stick, and this is slightly highlighting. It has a slight glow on, and which I really like because it's not so glittery, but there is definitely some sheen that it lives. So that's why I tend to put it on the highest part of my cheekbone, because when I move it kind of catches the light, and I think it's very nice because because it makes my base look more realistic, because real skin, you know, especially my kind of skin, which is mixed, it's not dry, it's kind of more on the oily side, you know, and normally it tends to be shiny. My face tends to be shiny, doesn't tend to be opaque. So to add a little bit of like glow and a little bit of reflection. But again, if it was super glittery, I would avoid that because we're doing natural makeup, no makeup. So it would be a giveaway. But because this has the slightest amount of sheen and kind of glow, I still can manage to use it when it's bright light outside, when it's sunny, with natural light during the day, basically. Because at night I could go with something more like a thicker formulation or more glowy, more shiny. But I don't know, I have this thing, like, at night I don't mind if I look like I'm wearing makeup because it's nighttime, and I'm not concerned about me looking like I made a little bit of effort. But during the day I don't want to look like I spend time doing my makeup, if you know what I mean. So because now I put these products, obviously I have those that are more visible because they were red before and I added redness. So I go back and I kind of mix it a little bit with this, just a little bit with this blush that I used, to create a color that kind of match perfectly that matches perfectly the color of the spot of the area here, you see. And it's just like, okay, like, it's not the best light here, so yeah, okay, good. And okay, and I'm gonna blend once again, I'm gonna blend the edges, because the important thing is that you don't leave sharp edges. We don't want to see where the makeup starts and finish. We just want to have a seamless surface. All right? And I know it takes a little bit of time, so this is like something extra that I do if I have time. Otherwise I don't bother, you know, like if I have some spots, I'm gonna leave it there, you know. Or what I do sometimes, if I have a spot on my cheek, I just don't put blush or highlight there. I just like avoid it, you know, if I don't have time. I just conceal them and I go. And I also saw that I have this here, so, you know, like, you go back and you conceal you kind of pinpoint your face, almost like you're photoshopping yourself. You know what I mean? So you go in specific areas to Photoshop, and you leave the rest of the face makeup free. I think this is the best technique if you want to look like you don't have any makeup on. And that's it. Like, I want to show you with light in front of my face. This is too much light. So it looks like I'm not wearing anything, especially because I have this shit here, which I'm not in love with, but you know, I'm gonna ignore it. But because I have the rest of the skin that is pretty seamless, I can afford to have one spot, you know, because it's not gonna detract from the rest of the, like, you're not gonna see, oh my god, you know. It's just like, it's human. It's human skin. Human skin get spot and imperfection at times. So it just looks like I have this one and a couple of more in my face, which is completely normal, and you know, and that's it. So what I do, if I want to be extra, now I don't have any eyebrow products because I finished my pen. I had a very sweet pen that I bought in Korea when I went in Korea, and that was the best because it wasn't even an eyebrow product. It was an eyeliner. But this is the most curious thing. Like in Korea, they use eyeliner for creating the bag under the eye. Like this is like a sheer brown eyeliner, and it's finished. It's dried so bad. Like I have a little bit coming off, so you can see it's kind of sheer, because this is not for the eye to make an eyeliner to make the flick and stuff. It's like to make the bag underneath, because somehow they like that look, because it reminds them of children, because children have this round eyes with like a little bit of puffiness underneath, and they like to create it with makeup, so they have eyeliner for those specific purpose, which is very bizarre. Like we here in the West, we spend so much time to conceal our dark circles and bags under the eyes, you know. People go and do filler to get rid of like shit under the eyes, but they have a different view on beauty, and they like to go and create redness like you are sick, you know, close to the eyes, or redness close to the nose like you have a cold or something, and they go and do the bag. I don't know, it's curious, it's very interesting, and it's just like it's so interesting to see how beauty standard change depending from the culture and the country. It's fascinating to me. They definitely want to look like cartoons, or I think that the thing about Asian countries like Japan and Korea is they want to look young. They want to look like kids, like babies. Especially the girls. The girls want to look like forever 10 years old, I think. I don't know. That's what I imagined myself. But I'm gonna try to see if there is a little bit of products left, and I'm gonna just like add, you know, a little bit of strokes where I have some gaps, And because this is sheer, it works perfectly for my brows, because it's not gonna make it look darker, but it's gonna create a shadow, and that's what we want. That's why this is perfect, because this is meant to create a shadow, almost like a contour color, a taupey brown, you know. So that's perfect, because I'm not gonna make my eyebrows look black. I'm gonna just create some shadows where I need it, in a way that overall my brow look thicker and fuller, but in a very natural way. So there is barely any color. That's why I'm pushing. I'm going with a heavy hand. If it was new, I would go lighter with a light touch, but because this is almost finished, I really have to press to make some color pop out, and that's why I'm going so heavily. So it looks like I'm really coloring my brows, but I'm not doing anything at all, which is okay. Like, I think it's a good tip if you are not great at makeup, and if you're not super confident, to have a product that is almost finished. And then I'm brushing my eyebrow, and yeah, okay, I don't have any brow gel, and I never use a brow gel. Sometimes I use hairspray and I brush through, but because I'm not performing or something, I'm not gonna bother with that, because when they are not in place, I just can't go back with my spoolie and brush them during the day, you know. I always have something in my bag, like a comb, or you know, or a spoolie, to kind of like putting my brows in place. I mean, not always, like most of the time I just go out of my house and I don't think about it anymore. But if I have to perform at night, or I have to meet with someone, you know, I would just like go and make some touch-ups. Okay, I think that's it. That's what I do when I have to go out. Oh no, last thing, it's I always put a lip balm. And if I want to be extra, but mind that this can be a giveaway. Like, when I do that, normally people ask me if I have makeup, but which, you know, I don't mind. Like, it's not like I am trying to, it's not like I'm gonna go to jail if it shows that I have makeup. But you know, sometimes when I don't mind to show a little bit of makeup on my face, I will go and feel my cupid bow, because personally, but that's because of the shape of my face, you know. Like, I want to make my lips look closer to the nose. I don't like a long filter, because I think it makes me look more younger and dolly like, to accentuate this. And this is a lip liner, but I don't even know the brand anymore because it's so finished. But it's a tester, and the girl in the shop, she just gave it to me, and I love this pencil. I'm gonna be so sad when it's finished, because it matches my lips so. I mean, it's the exact color of my lips. It's amazing. But before that I was using Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury, which now it's completely finished. And it was matching my lips as well. But I can't afford to buy it again. And oh my god, the battery is finishing, so I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna put a little bit of lip balm, and that is gonna complete the look. And when I put the lip balm, the lip liner disappear very quickly, which it's okay, but at least it's gonna leave a little bit of a stain there, which is gonna make it look natural again. So because I have no edges, so it's gonna look a little bit fuller, the mouth, but like I'm not wearing anything. So what do you think? Let's go in the other room. You see the blush with the highlighter? I love it. I think it's not bad. Like, I look perfected, but it's not super obvious that I'm wearing makeup. Obviously, if I'm gonna go with mascara and stuff, then at that point it's gonna be like, okay, I'm glamorized myself. But I think that if you look at me in real life, it's not like you say, oh my god, you're wearing makeup, you're wearing foundation. No, it's just like, oh, I have, I've done my skincare, I look fresh, and yeah. And I love how the lip liner make my lips looking pouty and full. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be zooming out. Okay. Yeah, we can't, there's nothing we can do about it. So, that's my natural, no makeup, glowy, fresh, and perfected, undetectable makeup for the day. If you have to go at work, or at school, or whatever. And this is like, it's good for boys and girls, I think. It's kind of pretty universal, kind of no makeup. Bye.